In the philosophy of Stoicism, we are taught to prepare for hardship, not just from the world around us, but from the people within it. Not all harm comes with a sword. Some wear smiles, speak softly, sit across the table, and slowly dismantle your life from the inside. Hatred is easy to spot, but what about something colder? What if someone doesn't just hate you? What if they want you gone? Ask yourself, have you ever felt someone secretly celebrated your failure? Ever noticed opportunities vanish only when they're around? Ever been in pain and watched them stand silent like they enjoyed the show? These aren't accidents, they're warnings, and today we're going to expose them. In this video, we'll break down 5 chilling signs that someone isn't just your critic, they're your silent enemy. Guided by the wisdom of the Stoics, who faced betrayal, exile, and death with calm clarity, you'll learn how to spot the quiet destroyers and how to walk away with dignity, strength, and peace. If you value truth over comfort, if you'd rather be awake than blind, you're in the right place. Before we begin, take a moment to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see through the mask. Now let's begin. Because survival isn't just physical, it's psychological. And the greatest defense is awareness. 1. They deliberately isolate you from everyone who cares. This is where it starts. Quietly, strategically, not with violence, but with distance. The first sign someone wants to truly destroy you isn't a direct attack. It's when they start cutting the strings that hold you together. They don't scream, don't talk to them. They plant seeds. She's not really there for you, you know. Why do you still talk to him? He's jealous of you. I just want what's best for you. I think you need space from them. Little comments, small doubts, repeated just enough to make you question the people who actually care about you. And suddenly, without even realizing it, you're alone. That's the point. Because once you're isolated, you're vulnerable. They want control. And control is easier when no one else is around to see what's happening, or pull you out when things get dark. This isn't just manipulation, it's preparation. They're clearing the battlefield. And here's the chilling part. They'll do it while pretending to protect you. They'll twist your emotions so deeply, you'll thank them for removing the very people who could have saved you. So if someone is constantly trying to protect you by turning you against your own support system, pay attention. That's not love. That's not concern. That's step 1 in erasing your safety net. And once they do that, what comes next gets even darker. 2. They secretly sabotage opportunities crucial to your survival. The Stoics taught us to expect adversity, not to fear it, but to prepare for it. But what they also knew is that the most dangerous adversaries are not storms or circumstances. They are people. People who wear smiles while quietly cutting off your oxygen. When someone doesn't just hate you, but wants you destroyed, they don't attack your strength. They target your support, your progress, the small but vital doors that lead to your future. They'll downplay your skills behind closed doors. He's not really reliable. She's not ready for that kind of responsibility. They'll delay your messages, forget to mention a job opening, accidentally lose important paperwork, and they'll do it with such subtlety that you start to blame yourself. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." But what happens when someone deliberately creates that reality? When they clip your wings just enough that you never even try to fly? This isn't petty. It's precise. They don't need to harm you directly, only to make sure the right doors stay closed. Because if they control the flow of opportunity, they control your future. So if you keep finding yourself just missing out, if key things keep slipping through your fingers and only around one particular person, pause. That's not coincidence, that's sabotage. And in the eyes of the Stoic, it is not your job to panic. It is your duty to see it clearly and withdraw your trust with quiet, unshakable strength. 3. They weaponize your vulnerabilities to erode your identity. The Stoics taught us, know yourself, master yourself, stand guard at the gates of your mind. But what happens when the very person you once trusted now uses what they know against you? When someone doesn't just hate you, but truly wants to see you crumble, they don't launch open attacks. They study you. They wait. They remember that one insecurity you confessed late at night. That fear you mentioned in a moment of weakness. That painful past you trusted them with. And then one day, they bring it back. Casually, quietly, but twisted like a blade. No wonder they left you. You always overthink things. You're just not built for that kind of success. And they'll say it with a smile, a joke, a passive shrug. But make no mistake, this is psychological erosion. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that no outside insult can harm us unless we let it in. But repeated enough, these words begin to echo. You stop dreaming, you stop speaking up, you shrink. That is what they want. For you to doubt yourself so thoroughly that you start doing their work for them. So if someone consistently disguises cruelty as concern or uses your pain as ammunition, see it clearly. That is not tough love. That is targeted destruction. And the Stoic response? Withdraw your inner permission. Guard your identity like a fortress. And never again hand your deepest truths to someone who delights in watching you break. 4. They spread harmful lies that threaten your life. There's a point where gossip stops being petty and becomes deadly. The Stoics warned us. Reputation is not entirely in our control, but character always is. Still, there are people who aim lower. People who know they can't ruin your soul, so they target your name. When someone doesn't just hate you, but wants to see you erased, they won't fight you face to face. They'll poison the room before you enter it. They whisper lies, strategically crafted to corrode trust. He can't be trusted. She said something about you, but I probably shouldn't repeat it. It's not always loud. It's not always obvious, but it spreads. And that's the intention. Because when your name becomes distorted, when people begin to question your integrity, your stability, your worth, it becomes harder to find allies, harder to find opportunities, harder to breathe. And eventually, they hope it becomes harder to exist. This is not social sabotage. This is character assassination. Epictetus said, if evil is spoken of you and it be true, correct yourself. If it be a lie, laugh at it. But sometimes lies take root, especially when they come from someone who once stood close to you. In those moments, don't panic. You don't need to chase every rumor. You need only stand firm in who you are, unshaken and consistent. Because truth needs no defense. But you do need distance. Anyone who fabricates stories to damage your life isn't seeking attention. They're seeking your collapse. And the Stoic path says, withdraw, observe, and let time bury the liar beneath their own noise. 5. They remain cold and indifferent when you face serious harm. A Stoic does not expect the world to be kind, but when someone you once trusted watches you suffer and feels nothing, that is not coldness, that is cruelty. When someone doesn't just hate you, but wishes for your downfall, they don't always need to attack you directly. They simply disappear when you need help. They look away when you're bleeding, not because they're busy, but because your suffering brings them satisfaction. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. But this isn't injury, it's neglect with intent. If you're struggling, wounded, at your lowest, and they show no emotion, no concern, no action, understand, their silence is not absence, it's the confirmation you've been avoiding. A person who can witness your harm and feel no disturbance has crossed a line within themselves. Their indifference is not stoicism, it is rot, and it reveals the final truth. They were never on your side, not even neutral, but quietly rooting for your collapse. The Stoic path is not about vengeance, it's about recognition. You don't need to expose them. You only need to see clearly and step away completely. When someone watches your world burn without blinking, you owe them nothing. Not anger, not explanation, only distance. For no soul that celebrates your suffering deserves another second of your presence. Conclusion. The Stoics never promised us safety. They never said the world would be fair. What they taught, what they lived, was clarity. To see people as they are, not as we wish them to be. To respond with reason, not revenge. And to understand that some people are not confused, not broken, not lost. They are intentional. Intentional in how they isolate, sabotage, manipulate, lie, and abandon. And while it's tempting to meet that darkness with rage or retaliation, the Stoic path is different. It says, do not descend into their chaos. Do not let them change your nature. Instead, protect your mind. Fortify your peace. Withdraw your energy with dignity. Because once you see the truth, once you know someone doesn't just hate you, but actively seeks your destruction, you owe it to yourself to stop justifying their place in your life. You are not here to be someone's slow, silent casualty. You are here to rise, deliberate, watchful, and unshaken. So if you've seen even one of these signs, don't wait for more. Step back, reclaim yourself, and let their silence echo louder than anything you ever could have said. As the Stoics would say, let your life be your statement. Walk forward, without fear, without hate, and without them.